Wildcat Football Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Weekly with head coach Kevin Sumlin. Cats on the road again this week, taking on the Stanford Cardinal at Stanford Stadium. Kickoff set for 12:30. And a quick early reminder, it's homecoming the following week at Arizona Stadium, a 1:30 kickoff against the Oregon State Beavers. Coach, one note on the USC game last Saturday. Your team's down 17-0 at halftime, but the Trojans really only had one offensive drive in that first half. Where did you feel your team was at halftime?
Yeah, you look back at it, and like you said, there was one drive. We had, two penalties that really, two turnovers that really led to 10 points. So our defense was playing pretty well, even after the turnover, to hold them to a field goal, a lot of short fields. So, it just kind of felt like if we can get something going offensively, we're right in this thing.
Field position, sometimes I don't know if that's a stat that fans look at a lot, but 2 weeks in a row now your opposition had an average field position of its own 40-yard line. How much of a difference does that make in a game?
It makes a huge difference. There's a stat that I think people have used percentage-wise. Basically, wherever you are in the field, it's their percentage of scoring. And so if you, for instance, if you start at the 10, you have a 10% chance of scoring at your own 10. And so the closer you get, so obviously those odds go up when you get around 40, 50 in the midfield. So, yeah, it's a big thing, and it's a combination. It's a combination of our offense. Not necessarily you don't need to score every time, but we've played a lot of field position games early this year and done well. But our turnover margin was down to get the ball to midfield and punt it. What you want is, the old coach used to say, you want every offensive possession to end with some sort of a kick, a punt or an extra point. But you'd like for that kick to happen on the other side of the 50-yard line.
Sure. You've talked about your offense being more efficient. Could you detail what you'd like to see in that area?
When being efficient is, we a lot of people, and I do, put an emphasis on third down percentage, and that's staying on the field. When you're at a tempo offense, that becomes important. But efficiency to me is, hey, not going backwards, negative yardage plays, things that put you behind the chains, get you off schedule, which we did the other night. We had some negative yardage plays that put us in second and long situations where you see a variety of blitzes. So, being more efficient, staying on schedule, the 3, 4, 5 yards a pop that give you a chance on third down instead of third and long or second and long situations.
There's 22 starting positions on a football team. 21 of them can change guys throughout the game and nobody says a word. But when the quarterback changes, it always becomes a headline. Is too much made of the fact when a quarterback changes?
I mean, that's what it is. That's never going to change, right? So I say it all the time. Quarterbacks, they're just like the head coach. You get way too much credit when you win. You get most of the blame when you lose. That's just part of the territory. So, yeah, I mean, everybody pays attention to that, from college football to pro football to even high school football. So that's that going in as a quarterback, it's just part of the territory.
Right, Stanford's got a 3-4 record, but there's two games in particular that stand out. They beat Washington at home and held Oregon, even though they lost Oregon, held the Ducks to 21 points. Yep. So what do they do well defensively? Well,
they're multiple in their front. They're jumping into really the 3-down personnel, but they're in a 4-down, 3-down. Really well coached, really sound, keep things in front of them, and have some good players. For somebody to, like you said, they've really played Washington well, really played Oregon very well, because Oregon's extremely explosive as we've seen. Schematically, they've done a nice job. They're always in position, and they're good open field tacklers.
So David Shaw's been at this for a long time. The style of his teams, and again, the people from the outside might say, well, it's boring football, but it's usually winning football. Why have they been so effective over the years?
Well, I mean, he's done it a long time, and at the NFL level, at this level, he's consistent. I think his teams are a lot like David's personality. You don't see him too high, too low. They've been consistent in their approach, and they believe in what they do and how they approach it, offensively and defensively. And you can't argue with the success that he's had over the course of years.
It's easy to say, hey, we want to get off to a good start. You want to do that in every football game. The defense the last 2 weeks has done that. How do you want to trigger your offense to get off to a faster start?
Well, we just got to make plays, and our offensive line's been a little unsettled since the Cody Creason injury, but we've been playing 6 or 7 guys in there, kind of trying to find who we are. We got to get that situation settled down now that we got JJ back, who's getting close to 100%. That'll help. I think we should have Bam Smith back and Gary back this week. So, we've kind of been, going through things with half the team. Hopefully, this week we can get all those guys back and be at full strength.
All right, Cats and the Cardinal coming up Saturday from Stanford, and more Wildcat Weekly right after this.
Life is what you make it, full of endless possibilities and opportunities at every corner. In our fast-paced world, where you bank matters. Hughes helps you with what matters most, delivering dreams, adding value to your life, for you, your family, and your future. We are local, rooted in the community you call home. Join us on the journey of life. Hughes Federal Credit Union, recognized by Forbes as one of Arizona's best credit unions 2 years in a row.
Wildcat Football Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Forbes ranked Hughes one of the best credit unions in Arizona 2 years in a row. Learn more at hughesfcu.org/best.
Welcome back to Wildcat Weekly. Our guest this week, J.B. Brown, Wildcat defensive lineman, defensive end, defensive do everything. The Cats and the Cardinal coming up. Last couple weeks, the defense has come out with tremendous energy, and I know the end result isn't what you'd want to see, but what have you seen from the defensive side that has you guys playing at such a high energy level early in the game like that?
Throughout the week, just watching film, knowing our opponent, studying well, and coming out with energy, just having fun with the game.
Is that natural for you? I mean, when that game gets started, do the juices get going?
Yeah, first couple of drives, it's a lot of energy, hype, trash talking. This is just a lot of fun energy going around.
Statistically, you look at this season, the defense continues to make more and more progress, and you're a big part of that. So what have you seen that has gone into the improvement for the Arizona defense?
Our preparation, just how we practice throughout the week, being fired up, and that juice just doesn't come on Saturdays. You have to keep it going in practice as well.
How big of a challenge is that, week in and week out? Because, you're past the halfway point of the season now. I know practice becomes laborious at times. How do you keep that energy going?
You harp on it amongst each other, knowing that today might be a rough day, so let's make sure we have the energy today. If it seems a little quiet, somebody will start yelling out a couple things, getting it started up.
Okay. Is there 1 or 2 guys that are kind of the leaders of that, or has it become a team-wide effort to keep the energy going?
It's a team-wide effort, but I have to say Scotty Young is doing a great job by doing it as well. Okay. And one guy that stands out.
Okay. Well, what does he do in particular? Is anything, or is it just his natural personality?
His natural personality, just him being great, yeah.
Have you watched some Stanford film this week? What are some of the keys to slowing down the Cardinal offense?
Be disciplined, gap discipline, play with your eyes, stay good technique, and just do your job.
They've got a 6'7" tight end, and I don't know if you'd ever be matched up on him. I know that may not be your number one assignment on Saturday, but when you're defending a guy, when you're going after a guy, trying to tackle a guy that's taller than anybody else on the defense, what techniques do you do to defend somebody at that size?
Defending, I wouldn't know because I'm not going to be out there and coverage it. But if he gets the ball, I'm just going to try to run through him. The bigger he is, the harder he falls.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is we saw this against Washington earlier, that you hadn't seen the Huskies for a couple of years. You haven't played Stanford for a couple of years. How different is that facing a conference rival that you haven't played against before?
It's very different. So when Washington came, it was like it's Washington, but now we get to go to Stanford, so it's going to be a different atmosphere, and we're just excited about it. Just going to go out there and have fun.
Okay. Is there something about playing on the road that gets you more excited? I mean, sometimes it can be intimidating to play on the road, but you won that game at Colorado and, you know, played well early first half at USC. Is there something that you like or the team likes about playing on the road?
Yeah, we take it as a challenge. We're in a road in somebody else's house. We just want to make it ours. So let's go out and conquer somebody else's territory.
How's school going? What do you like? What class do you like?
I'm taking sign language right now. School's going real good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm enjoying sign language.
All right, he is J.B. Brown, Wildcats and the Cardinal. Saturday, we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching Wildcat Football Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the free U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.